And so there are two different things that we have to consider. First of all, making compounds with nonmetals and making compounds with metals. Now, with nonmetals, in the types of reactions that we're going to be working with, for example, for synthesis, with a nonmetal, it's actually pretty nice and simple. We're not crossing charges, so as soon as you have, I'm going to write this out for you, make sure we're on the same page. Move this over so it's not in our way. Okay. As soon as you have, so I'm going to divide this up and give, well, nonmetals really don't need that much space, so I'm going to give it over here. If you have a nonmetal, Nm, okay, you do not have to cross your charges. Do not cross charges. So most of the time what you end up doing, if I give you the name, you just write it out based on the prefixes. All right. If, for example, I give you a nonmetal oxide, so if I give you, I don't know, SO2 plus H2O, you are not going to be crossing your charges with this. Okay? And so what you do instead is really nice and easy. All you have to be doing is just creating a compound while balancing at the same time. You're going to be making an acid, okay, just as a little bit of review. You're not crossing charges at all. You're just going to write H2, okay, because you have two H's, you have one S, so it's going to be S, and O, well, you've got 2 plus 1, 3. So notice I didn't cross my charges at all. You don't cross charges with nonmetals. Don't ever cross, as soon as you see your nonmetal, which you have right there, do not cross charges. All right? Now, with metals, you definitely 100%, totally, you do. Okay? You have to cross charges, no matter what you have. All right, so I'm going to review that really quickly because some people are still having issues with that. So, for example, if I want to take magnesium and hydroxide and create a compound, okay, the first thing that I need to do is determine the charges. Okay, so I know that magnesium has a +2 charge, and if you're still having issues with charges, go back and watch the video about charges or come in and ask help. All right, and I know OH has a -1 charge. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have to cross my charges. All right, so then what I end up getting is Mg. The 1 is implied, so I don't need to put a 1 here. And then OH, and since if I were to just put a 2 here, what that would mean is I just have 2 H's instead of 2 O's and 2 H's, which I want. I need to put parentheses. All right, so let's do another one. It's just a ton of practice, guys. Let's say, for example, I want to combine sodium and sulfate. So sodium and sulfate. All right, so Na, if you look at your periodic table, has a +1 charge. Sulfate, SO4, has a 2- charge. So I need to cross my charges. So hopefully soon, guys, you don't have to actually cross your charges. As soon as you see sodium, you can say, okay, +1, sulfate -2, cross my charges in my head. So therefore, it's going to be Na2SO4. All right. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more and then we will be done. Let's think of a more challenging one. How about we do magnesium phosphide. So magnesium phosphide. Remember, the IDE ending means that it's going to just be the element. So I've got magnesium and I've got phosphide. Magnesium has a 2+ charge. Phosphide has a 3- charge. Cross your charges in your head. Start doing that. You end up with Mg, so I don't even want charges in my final answer, right? So I'm going to make a new thing, Mg3P2, and I'm done. All right, so soon this is going to be, you're not even going to need to do it. You should be able to start just doing this in your head and crossing the charges. I'm hoping. All right, so that's it. I mean, I can give you a ton of practice. If you want more practice, come in and get help, but that's how you're crossing your charges. If you have a metal, as soon as you see a metal, guys, you should be crossing your charges because as soon as you see a metal, you're going to have an ionic compound. So you should be crossing your charges. If you have a non-metal, do not cross your charges. You're going to have a funky thing like this. in synthesis, or I'm going to actually be telling you how to write it by giving you the prefixes. All right, so don't cross your charges with nonmetals, but as soon as you see a metal of any sort, you have to be crossing your charges. All right, because metals are positively charged, your anion's going to be negative. By crossing your charges, you make sure your entire compound has a 0 charge, and that's the whole point of crossing your charges. All right, I hope this helped.